And did you actually watch the joint that I sent to you?
Which
You
one?
don't ever look
If
at
you
that.
sent anything
You
to
don't ever
me
be
in the
looking at
past,
nothing I send to you.
if you sent anything to me, are we live?
Yes.
Are we live?
Yes, we live. And I'm
Hey,
reprimanding you on the air because
hey, everybody.
did you watch the intro I made for us?
The what?
The intro I made for us.
No, you show it. Let's do
Yeah.
it.
So that's what I was gonna say was the new process that I wanted to do. What's up, y'all? We in here usual.
The
in our own little
huge.
our own little bickering session as we
Right.
get into the show. Because Kai be trying to be right all the time. No,
Oh,
she don't. She
I
don't.
do.
I'm kidding.
I
She
do.
don't. We have our mics back, our cameras backwards. But
Hello. Shout out to Richard
Richard in the
for on
building.
the chat. Maybe an outfit.
Right.
One day.
So,
Yo, what's up, everybody? What up, Crystal?
You live? She
Yes.
live on the live.
She live on the live. I'm live on the check-in. Do we have our comments up? Where are our comments at?
Yeah. But yeah, I got yelled at last time.
Let me go.
And this time, I swear, I'm gonna try to keep an eye on my comments.
There we go. Richard said he likes the intro. Thank you, Richard.
Oh yeah, Richard in the building. Yo, Richard, I needed Rich the other day. So, sometimes I be trying to, it's good to have positive friends around. Right.
Okay.
And when I get kind of busy, I get caught up in my life. All I have is the family, and they're not always as positive, but it's just family stuff.
Ooh.
And but you just need that friend that'll say, "Oh, is that a problem? Let's figure out how we can figure that out."
Mm-hmm.
Like, you need that guy. So the other day I was feeling negative. I was like, I just need somebody with that go. And I called him and we chatted out a few things. And I appreciate you, Rick. Ridiculous. You coming back, man. You coming back. How was your week? Oh,
come on.
I was going to say, how was your week? But we know how your week was.
My week was
Miss Premiere.
Great.
So tell us about the premiere.
It was pretty amazing. Not gonna lie. Okay. Well,
no, look,
I'm
first
trying to
shake
think.
it off.
First
Wake
of
up.
all,
You
yeah,
want
I gotta
some of
wake
my
up.
Red Bull?
No. No. So yes, I got invited and I was surprised. This whole experience has been a surprise. Everything. I've not expected anything. I just expected to come in as a dancer,
Right.
assistant, choreograph, do my thing. And everything about this film has happened and it's been a surprise. So being invited to the world premiere, this is my first red carpet event for a Disney
your
film.
First red carpet, or just for you as an entertainer, or was your first red carpet ever?
I mean, world premiere of this magnitude and being involved in a film in this way, yes.
Right.
Yeah, so it was huge. And it's crazy. I didn't realize how huge this was. And we'll get into that later when we talk about reflection. But when I got invited, I was like, okay, cool. I'll go on Melrose and find a dress and do my own makeup and I'll drive up in my car. I don't know. I just didn't think about it as big of a deal. And then as time went on, I met an amazing man named Trevor Julian. Shout out Trevor, who is a publicist, and he got together this amazing team of this fashion designer called Aria Garcia. Shout out to Aria Garcia.
I have one question.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when you met him, like, Did he just say, "Yo, I'm gonna put this together for you"? Did you tell him about Disney first, or how did the meeting go? Like, where
We
did the whole
just
thing just
talked.
come?
We were just talking. We were at a restaurant, and we just happened to be there, and we were just happened to be at the bar, and I was waiting for my friend, and he just pulled up, and we just started talking.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just happens like that. And I really, we talk a lot about on the show about alignment and manifesting and all these like things that sometimes people may think, oh, it's spiritual, whatever, but it's really real. I'm convinced even more after this week that it's real. Within this week, in less than a week, I had a custom designer dress. Like I said,
Nice.
Auriga by Aria Garcia. Check her out.
Nice.
She just did the cover of Playboy magazine, Australia, creative directed and styled and
Hold on, wait.
right.
Let's slow
She
down.
also has done covers of Harper's Bazaar. Like, she's incredible, and her pieces are like masterpieces. So, and even the way the dress fit, it was such short time for her to like, she was just gonna like let me borrow a dress.
It's funny you say that because I'm a man, so I don't know. I was looking at the dress was amazing. First of all,
Thank you.
You look great. But here, I felt like it was tight. Like, to me,
it wasn't.
I felt uncomfortable.
It was a corset top.
Right.
It was a corset top, and it wasn't tight. It's just it's just stiff.
It's meant to be.
So you're. But I was fine. I was breathing. I was dancing. It's just stiff, so you feel like, boop, boop, But yeah, it was that, and then I had an amazing makeup artist. I met him on the Christina Aguilera music video shoot. So shout out to Manny. Brandon came on board, and then of course my hot date was my sister Coco Sarai. You guys have seen her on the show. Coco. She looked fabulous as well. And when we got there, I was I did the carpet. We did the step and repeat. Mm-hmm. So you got like Getty Images.
Yeah, that's your new profile.
This is my new profile picture. And then we did the press. We did some press. I did the press with Jamal, which was such a joy because he was a choreographer on the film, and
he's like a legend too.
He's a legend, and I look up to him so much. And I'll say this on the air. I told him this already, that getting ready for this this situation, this event, I pulled up his premiere picture when he did Aladdin. So he choreographed the Aladdin live action film, and I pulled up his red carpet outfit. And what I thought to myself was like, wow, here's a man or a human being that gives himself permission to be great and still be humble and still be kind and gentle. Right. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, but in what way? What do you mean? Like, when you say like kind, gentle, like
the way he moves, the way he moves in life is just so dope. Yeah. Like he has this, but he's unapologetically amazing. Like he works out, so you'll see, check out his Instagram. This is Jameezy. He is just like sexy and hot and just, again, unapologetically himself. So when you see that, you would think, oh my god, like he's like this iconic person. But then when you meet him, it's like, wow, he's so humble and he's so nice, So sometimes when people, they have this grandiose way of being, they sometimes tend to have that grandiose way of acting. Right. So for me, and I told him this, he inspired me a lot because I've always been very big on staying true to who I am, staying humble, like working hard, not letting the industry get in my head and not letting myself get gassed by, like, none of this is real. Like none of this is real.
But it is though. But it is real. But you could lose yourself.
You could get lost. You could really gas yourself and think that you're doing, like, you're better than people. Right. That's the thing. I never want to feel like I'm better than anyone just because I'm here doing this thing. I'm not. You see, I'm still the same person. Yeah. But looking at him and his picture, it inspired me to allow myself to be great and allow whatever that is to be. And so I really felt like mission accomplished. Right. And then we met everybody. Like, I was able to meet, Lin-Manuel Miranda, and he knew us.
He's the singer, right?
He wrote all the songs.
Right. Okay.
And he did Hamilton and The Heights, all those things. So he he, for me to be like, hi, and him be like, hey, I remember your videos. And I was like,
that's good. Like,
that's good, right?
Because he'll think of you. I wrote this
right,
with you in mind. That's how it works.
And then meeting the directors and the other, Carlos Vives. For those of you who know who that is, he's a legendary Colombian singer.
There we go. Okay. I was like, what if we don't?
And Maria Cecilia Botero, she plays the grandma Alma. I just want y'all to see this movie already. Right. I really do, because I feel like I'm talking about this and you're just like have no point of reference.
It's finally coming. When does it come out for us again?
November 24th, Thanksgiving. I do have a little clip that was released today of one of the dance numbers that I actually worked on. So you guys will get a little taste of what to expect. Like dance.
Welcome to Family Madrigal, the home of the family Madrigal. We're on our way, where all the people are fantastical but magical. I'm part of Family Madrigal. Oh my gosh, it's fun! What are the kids? I can't remember all the kids. All right, relax. It is physically impossible to relax. Everything. What are your powers? Just tell us what everyone can do.
And that's why coffee's for grown-ups.
Might be a Bella, her mood affects the weather. When she's unhappy, well, the temperature gets weird. Might be a Bruno. We don't talk about Bruno. They say he saw the future. One day he disappeared. Oh, and that's why Mom Julieta, here's her deal. Oh, the truth is she can heal you with a meal. Oh, her recipes are remedies for real. If you're impressed, imagine how I feel, Mom. Welcome to the Family Madrigal, the home of the family Madrigal.
And there you go.
Yes, there it is.
Yeah. And so what was happening in that part right there that we just saw? What was that scene about?
Looking at the comments. Hey, Mom. My mom's in the check-in. Am I the main cartoon character? No. So I was one of the choreographers. I was assistant choreographer, and I was also a dancer. So a lot of the dancing that you see, like Mirabelle and all these characters doing, it was I was the movement for that, and I'll be able to show more of that as the film comes out. But yeah, so I was pretty much the dance double for these animated characters, and I also got a chance to work with the animators on making sure like all the little nuances and of the movement is on beat, is on point, is authentic. So
the question I asked, did you have to do the little, you put the little balls on?
No,
like, you didn't have to do that. Like when you say movement, like how did they implement that into the show or to the?
Well,
character?
we actually physically danced these numbers. So we were in a dance studio and we choreographed it. We created the scene, everything from her running, like you guys saw, to the skirt movement, all of those things. And she does like these little movements. That's all us,
right.
And so we had videos, and did multiple angles of the videos. And then they, that's what they used as reference to animate, which again, animators are, I learned through this process, so talented in their ability to see something like on a video and replicate it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. I mean, I think we should carry that kind of respect for anything. Like any job takes a lot of work to get to the higher levels of it. Like it really takes talent. Like if you like anything you can think of, like there's a professional somewhere. Like,
right.
When you think about Frisbee golf, like there's a professional
right.
who spent thousands of hours to get where they are. So I usually respect everybody, but
right.
it's good that you got.
But
to
one
see
thing
it
is, one thing is you get to see it. Yeah. Like one thing is, oh yeah, I respect what you guys do. But one thing is like, oh shoot, I'm here with y'all and I'm seeing the work that you're putting in. So
seeing how it happens. Well, that's dope. That's dope. I obviously didn't get to go as her date because I've haven't been her friend since 12. So maybe on the next one. There's actually a remote next to you. I meant to tell you about that, like the thing. So how you guys doing? Tell us in the comments. We're gonna read some comments right now. Who else is in the comments? Who's out there?
Hey, shout out to Mari. Mari's on the check-in.
I know Rick is out there. Anna's probably out there in the building somewhere. Your people's out there. Oh yeah, I wanted to thank first of all both of our parents.
Mm-hmm.
Donated to our Venmo. We keep forgetting to thank you guys.
Oh my God.
Obviously, that's how it is. Day ones. That's our foundation. Our families are there supporting. So we appreciate all of you
Yes.
actually for your donations.
Yes.
And yeah, so
Because they don't have to.
they don't.
They don't have to.
They had us.
sure, right. They had us. They don't
It's
owe us
over.
a darn thing. So
Right.
yes, thank you. Thank you so much, Mom, Dad, JD's family for supporting us, our cause, our journey, our little dream that we have
Right.
here. At If You Know, You Know the show.
Right. What else?
So
What
if you
happened?
wanna if you wanna help donate, please Venmo us
Yeah.
at IYKYK _the show.
The show. I wasn't gonna help. I was gonna see.
I know. We were
looking
looking at
You
each
got
other
it.
like,
You got it.
"Eee."
But yeah, so but other than that, how was the week? How was Halloween? We didn't really do much for Halloween on
Yeah?
the show. But how was your Halloween? What did you do?
It
for
was
Halloween?
good. I went to a party and then I got kind of sick. Like my stomach started hurting
Ooh,
the next day.
we don't say sick in
Yeah, right,
in
that's
COVID
true.
times.
No, I got COVID tested. I'm good, y'all.
Okay.
I'm good.
Oh yeah, you had to for the premiere.
For the premiere. Yeah.
There
So
you
I
go.
can say all of the
safe.
things. Right. I'm safe for now.
Yeah, so I actually didn't do much. We took the family. I was the first time having the entire family together
Nice.
for trick or treating. We were all Pokemans.
Pokemans
I don't know how to say it.
Pokemon?
We were Pokemon.
Pokemon.
And yes, and Derek was Ash, who's ever the main character.
I saw the family picture.
Yeah, I was Umbreon, and I think my daughter was Charmander. I don't know. We were all.
That's
but-
how y'all know y'all really into it because I don't know who the heck that is. I
Right.
just know Pikachu, Squirtle, Mewtwo.
Shada, you told me that you used to watch it when you was a kid.
I used to watch it. I was into it, but like that's a
more than
new
me.
that's a new one. Whatever you just said, whoever you were is a
Umbreon.
new Umbreon. What is
Yeah.
that?
Well, it's an Eevee. it's an evolution of an Eevee. so yeah, but I actually, like I was telling her, I started playing Pokemon Go when it first came out, just as exercise, and the girl I was dating at the time liked animals, and it was like, oh, it's cute. So I
Mhm.
just thought it would be something fun to do, and that's when I actually started to learn about it anyway.
Oh,
So
nice.
that's what that was. But anyway, we had a good time. We went out. We actually were not about to go out because all of the kids are too old. I didn't really care about trick or treating, but Anna wanted Jay to see,
Aw,
the,
baby
all the
Jay.
things.
Oh, baby James.
and
He'll
so
be
we went to
baby
two
James.
houses and came home because he didn't really care. But we
Yeah.
did it. We had a good time. The whole family was together, so it was all good. So
Nice.
I
That's
can't-
beautiful.
Yeah, I can't
I
be
love that.
mad
I
at
can't wait for that.
So right. It's
Well,
coming.
I have something to say real quick.
Okay.
I'm about to sneeze. Hold on.
Get
Give me a
it.
second.
Get it. Get it.
Okay, I'm back. So today's a very special day. Also, I want to say because what?
No.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to reach.
Messing
You
up
talk.
my day. You didn't eat my shot.
Am I? No, I'm not.
Well, so today is a very special day because it is the birthday of a very special man in my life. I love my Theo Nacho.
Theo
I need the
Nacho.
bombs.
Okay, all right. Let
We
me get
need
to the
bombs for Theo Nacho.
Okay, let me get to the bomb.
Happy birthday, Tío Nacho. Feliz cumpleaños, Tío Nacho. Tío Nacho is, man, he is what a great guy. He's like so funny and he's always been so kind. He's like another dad to me.
Right.
And you know, that's why I call him uncle.
Yeah,
But
where does he live? Is he here in LA? or
he's
is he
he
Colombia?
lives in Jersey.
Yeah.
So shout out to Jersey and shout out to Madi, his wife, as well, who's also checking in. I think he's watching right now. So I think they're like vacationing somewhere. Them and my parents, they're like almost like young couple. You know, young couples go and they travel and
Right,
stuff.
yeah.
That's what they do now. Meanwhile, the rest of us over here working.
No, it must be nice.
You
How
know,
many
I invited my
views?
mom to the premiere. She was like, "Oh, actually, I'm doing a trip for your uncle's birthday." I was like, "What?"
Wow, what, you missed the premiere? Well, I guess, well,
Dead
I don't
in
know.
me
Live your
for
life.
a
Live your life.
trip.
There's gonna be many more. She knows. There's
No,
gonna be
I
many
love
more.
it. I love it. I'm so happy that all of them get to spend time together and go do things. Yes, you guys have worked so hard. You raised children. Like it's inspiring to see people that are older than me. Not that are old or anything like that, but people
Mhm.
that are older than me that have raised children, had careers, all the things.
Still having fun.
Enjoy their life
Right.
and be healthy and like yes, that's the point. That's what's the point. So I love you, Tío Nacho. Saludes. Muchas gracias. Yes.
All right. Have you heard about Aaron Rodgers? No.
No.
You don't know who Aaron
Tell
Rodgers-
me.
Aaron Rodgers is wow, I just forgot who he plays for. It used to be Green Bay Packers. I really don't remember who he plays for right now. I just blanked out. Anyway,
Mhm.
he lied to the NFL and told them he had a COVID vaccine.
Oh.
And he didn't. and he just got COVID, and now that's the big talk about what they should do. Because I don't know, like I don't know if you heard about Cam. You don't really follow sports, but
No.
so Cam. Why can't I think right now? I'm about to say Cam Newton.
Hot. It looks like you're hot.
Yeah, well, no, I'm not. But Cam, they gave Cam a hard time. They gave another guy a hard time. These are all black guys about not getting vaccinated.
Mm-hmm.
So the big story now is to see how they're going to react to Aaron Rodgers because he lied.
Is he not black?
No, he's not black. He's white.
Oh,
So
the plot thickens.
So
darkness.
we're seeing what's going to happen with that, but that's kind of the big whoop in the sports world right now. And it was kind of dangerous. And like, the fact that he would lie, and like when they asked him live on TV, they said, did you get vaccinated? And he said, yes, I've been immunized. That was the trick.
Oh,
right? Because he wasn't lying.
What was he immunized from?
Like when he was 12, probably, or like when he was like in middle school.
What?
But you
somebody that's the type of person that gets a PPP loan. That's that loophole finder.
Right. And
that's
so,
a PPP
right. And so
loan person.
Yeah. So he found the loophole. And it's funny. As soon as you said that, like I started to feel hot. So
right.
I'm like, damn, maybe she saw it coming. she's psychic.
Right.
But anyway, that was huge in the news. And then we had another situation with Boosie.
Okay. What?
It was I don't have his comments, but first of all, if you haven't heard the story, Lil Nas X made some comments about, hey, I have a new song coming out with Boosie.
Yeah.
And then Boosie came back like hot. Like he even said
he was not...
like commit suicide, like everything went way too far.
Yes.
And so there was another person of the LGBT community. Did I say that right?
LGBTQ.
Oh, Q. Dang it. I thought I said it all good.
Okay.
So there was another person of the community who came out and kind of, said something about questioning his father, his parenthood. And yeah. Which is like he's always smoked weed in front of his kids, and just thinking about like what if his kids said they were gay, like how do you respond to that, like
right.
And so I thought she had some pretty valid points, and he came back pretty hot at her. But I'm gonna go to the Breakfast Club for that clip. Ooh. That she was talking about something else that I wanted to kind of touch on, and it's like she was kind of mentioning how how black men who are attracted to trans women, like she wants them to kind of just let it go and just say you want to be with the trans woman.
Is she a trans woman?
Yes.
Okay.
And I guess we'll talk about it after. I just want you to hear what she's saying here.
Then try to explain to people like why he did what he did, and this, and I was like, okay, he got wife and kids. Am I right?
I don't know.
I don't know.
You don't remember that stuff with Mr. C?
I remember that, but I don't know
if
if
he have a wife and kids.
I don't know. I don't know.
But I just, and then when he said, yeah, this is what I like. I done did this. This is what I've done. I got an attraction to trans women. Mm-hmm. Malik Yoba came up here.
Yes, he did.
With Carmen Carrera and somebody else.
David Johns was with him. I forgot who the other this was.
What I was on the fence about, he said he's trans attracted. I didn't hear you say, yeah, I'm dating a trans. I'm with a trans. Because I could, like, you're a beautiful woman to me, Angela, and I could be attracted to you, to your beauty, and attracted to, your whole aesthetic, but am I going to date you?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, I really wish that some validity would come through from somebody that's like really solid and say, yeah.
I said that was a big step for Malik Yoba.
It was.
That was a lot.
To say he got dragged.
Yeah, but to say he's attracted, that was,
Right.
Malik Yoba.
Yeah, so he's
interesting.
He's an actor. I actually saw the episode, and I what I find interesting is obviously it's nothing about this young lady and what she's saying, but I just think there's a real position of like there are men I think that can do things that are sexual, and it's not really who you want to be with. And I think sometimes there are some sexual attractions. And the way she's saying this is like, I don't know, she wants people to just kind of just come out and be open, just being with trans women. But it's like, my only feeling is like, even if I could sexually get to a point where I could be with a trans woman, it's not
it's taboo.
Woman. So it's like, it's almost sexual, but it's like, you still want to like, I want to have pregnancies and like there's just different things that you can't do where I feel like it is a challenge for a man to even feel like I want to be with a trans woman. You know
yeah,
what I
I
mean?
mean,
Just-
I
feel like
would
it's
say
just-
the same with men. You know, I
Right.
think a trans man. I had this conversation with my friends where it
Mhm.
was like, I've never experienced that, so I wouldn't know. But I think with a man, eventually you want to have children. Like for me, my end goal is to have a family, to have children. So if I'm with someone with a trans man that can't have children,
Right.
I would be a little less inclined to do so.
Right.
But then, some people adopt, there's other choices. And I think ultimately we love who we love. I don't judge anyone for loving who they love. I'm personally attracted to men and straight men, and that's who I like.
Right.
But I know some
But do you
people that
think-
just are attracted to personalities.
Right.
And I think what I'm taking from that video that we just saw is this idea of we block ourselves so much.
Mhm.
When if we just kind of opened our horizons to like, hey, if tomorrow I end up being attracted to someone who is trans, then I'm not going to judge myself and hate them for it.
Right.
Because I think a lot of times, people, they'll judge themselves, and because of that, they have found this attraction. But it's like, if you see a woman, you don't know if she's trans or not. She has breasts, she has a figure, she has all the things of a woman, and you're attracted to that. It's okay. But I think what happens is that when we're like, we find out they're trans, we're like, oh no, I shouldn't like that.
Right.
And now I hate you. Now I'm gonna hate you as a trans person because you made me like you. No, they just living their life.
Right.
And everyone should be able to live their life and love who they want to love. But I think we should not judge ourselves for being attracted to anyone.
Right.
Like I have a friend who is a trans man, and he's very attractive. That man is fine. Okay. And I don't judge myself for it. I just was like, I can appreciate his beauty as a person, as a man. I can appreciate what he looks like, because I'm
Right.
like, wow, he is a very handsome man, and not be like, oh, does that make me am I weird? No, we should not. But we have to.
But don't you think of that? So the question, I guess, I understand what you're saying, and I agree. So I guess my question is, I'll just ask you:
Mhm.
Could you sexually be with a woman? Like, I mean, Mom, close your ears.
Jesus Christ! First of
but-
all,
but just
my
in, like-
uncle Nacho, it's his birthday. He's
Okay,
watching this right
okay,
now.
so let's not say let's not say for real, but could you at least feel yourself being able to get to a place to maybe even kiss a woman?
With a woman, with another straight woman.
Right.
No.
Right. So, and I think that's kind of the feeling that I'm saying. Like, I hear what she's saying, and she's saying, let's start saying you want to be with a trans woman.
But I can appreciate a woman's beauty, though.
Exactly. And I guess my only point is like just being honest for myself.
Mhm.
Like, I've skimmed across some tranny porn, like,
Mhm.
and been
Oh my
shocked at
goodness.
like, wow, why am I watching this so long? And I have a whole story about it, but I won't share it right now.
Yeah.
Uh,
We'll save that for a day
yeah,
where
that's
my
a
whole
other-
family's
that's
not
a whole
watching.
other show.
That is a whole other show.
But the idea is, like, I could see how somebody could get there from loving personalities and on a
Mhm.
sexual level.
Mm.
But when you're actually wanting to be with them and hold their hand and walk down the street, like, I feel like if you're not gay,
Maybe.
if
no.
you're not gay, like, that's always going to feel weird, right? And I think that's my
Maybe.
only point in what she's saying is that
Well, she's
if
saying
you're
Malik
not-
Yoba is attracted to trans.
yeah, well, she's saying she has a problem with the fact that he said he was attracted, but he's not saying I want to be with it, right?
Oh.
So her point was that, I know he said he was attracted, but I want to hear somebody say, I'm ready to just be with this. I want this to be my girl. And
I feel you. But then
so-
isn't that kind of the same thing when some men are like, oh, I'll sleep with a white woman, but I'm not gonna wife her.
it is.
Or I'll sleep with a black woman, or I'll sleep with a Latina, but I'm not gonna wife her up. You know what I mean?
I think that's
Isn't that the same thing?
No, I think it's a little different. That's a little more choice as opposed to if I'm not gay. Technically,
But you can
you're a
say
man, right?
I'll sleep with a trans woman, but I'm not gonna wife her. That's the
But-
same. You're saying the same thing.
Yeah, and I'm saying
Just-
that
yeah.
I'm saying that is okay, and that she's calling out the fact that she wants more men to say, "I want you to be my girl." I'm saying, from my perspective, and to your, for your ears, and I want to hear your opinions as well. is I think that actually is kind of tough to ask because I think there are some people that can get there sexually, but if you're not gay, the fact of being with a man or woman, whatever.
Don't quote.
Well, because
Don't quote.
literally, if you're born a man, that's how I feel.
That's
I'm
how
just
you
gonna say it.
feel.
If you were born,
These are all JD's opinions.
Right. If
Okay,
you
they
were-
do not
if you
reflect
were-
the opinions of If You Know,
The
You Know
show.
the Show or Kai
But
Martinez.
and it's not even an opinion. It is just right now
No, it's-
scientific fact. If you were
okay.
born with a penis, you're a male. If you're
Mhm.
born without a penis or with a vagina, let's go ahead and give it a name.
Okay.
Then you're a female.
Okay.
And that's just scientifically what it is. However, if you want to change that, if you feel different, like I'm all for it.
Right.
But if that's what we're basing
But
it
you
on,
can identify
yes,
that you identify.
as whatever you feel you want to identify
Mhm.
with. I have no problem with any of that.
What about they?
Huh?
How do you feel about they?
But is they saying they?
The people that I identify as they, non-binary.
What is that? Explain that. I
That
don't
you're
think I've even
not
heard
male
that
or
one.
female. People are being referred
Okay,
to
yeah.
now as they.
Isn't that kind of the same? Like,
No, it's non-binary.
yeah. I don't know. I just feel like I feel like it's one of those
It's-
things where
I respect it.
your freedoms are just overcomplicating things.
If people
Right.
if you want to be called I'm a dinosaur today,
Right.
I will respect that
But I
because
just
that's
think it's
how
too
you want to
far.
be.
Don't you
That's
think
not
it's
for
too
us
far?
to judge, though. That's not for us to judge.
It's not to judge, and I think it even kind of goes into.
I think
like,
it's I
our
think it's
topic today.
interesting. Yes, I think it's interesting. You know, I see the younger generation doing it a lot.
Mhm.
Like I've encountered a lot of young teenagers that identify as they, and it presents as a woman, a girl, but identifies as he.
Mhm.
And you know what I like about that is that it's allowing young people to explore their individuality and their identity at an early age. For me, I don't think I explored my identity as an adult woman until I was like 27.
Right.
Like I didn't have like, who am I? What do I like? I didn't have that. Growing up, I was told who I was. I was told what I was going to like. I was told not just by family, but by society.
Right.
They told me who I was going to be and what I was going to do, right? So I like that young adults are taking it, whether it feels extreme or not, it is what it is. Yes, if you want to be called they today and tomorrow you're like, actually I'm a boy, actually I'm a girl, get that out the way. And so that way you can present yourself to the world as your most authentic self. Because I feel like that being authentic and being who you are is what's going to bring your purpose about, and what's going to change the world. You know what I mean? We get caught up, and I'll use the Boosie thing as an example again. You know, when I hear these stories, I think of someone who's scared. I think of someone who has been told, is afraid of relinquishing control of their mind, of what they've been told and their reality.
Right.
And it's someone who's fearful of letting those things in, letting new ideas and new thoughts in. So that's what I feel like when I hear him. And I think so many people have that. And we need to kind of shift that perspective a bit.
So the question that I pose to you is, if you have had that, what do you think would be different?
I think I would have found a stronger sense of identity sooner. I think
How do you think that journey would have made? Because
because I feel like I found it eventually,
Mhm.
and I found it when I was by myself, and when I stopped caring what people thought,
Right.
and when my family, like my parents, and they were supportive of that.
Right.
You know, and when society was, you know, cutting my hair short,
Yeah.
that was like you know, I'm an artist, so I go out for auditions, and I was getting a lot of these like lesbian roles represented. I'm like,
Right.
really, just because my hair is short, like,
Right.
you know, but even being able to just play and do things like that, and like the Christina video that just came out,
Right.
being able to, but I would 10 years ago, I probably would not have done that video
Yeah.
the way I did it.
But I think honestly, I think times are different. Like, let me just give you my take on it,
Mhm.
because I feel like giving you that structure actually helps alleviate a lot of this thinking about. There's just too many things to consider. Right. Great. Right. And I wouldn't force it on them, but I would rather show them how nature works, that, you know, men and women create babies. This is why we have relationships. And I would teach them that way, but also let them know that obviously you can love who you want to love, but this is the way nature intended it in the sense, right? And I think even starting on a foundation of where you are and then allowing you to evolve, I think is the better way. Like there's just so many things that you can consider. And I think a lot of kids nowadays, from what you're seeing, is they do have freedom of thought. It's not so much that they, can choose to be male or woman, or they can go by they just have the choice to do it.
Yeah.
And if
that's freedom
didn't
is
have
empowering.
we didn't have that choice, but it's not because of sexuality. It's because the world was different. You couldn't talk about certain things, or you couldn't. It was really like this was before people kind of decided, like, okay, making people feel this way is what's making people feel obligated to do certain things. So I think we're being
Right.
we're not saying women should be this, men should be this, and that's what they used to do.
Yeah.
So now they're doing that less. At the same time, this whole they community is coming along. I just don't want to give it the credit.
But I feel like it's not harming anyone. If anything,
I think it will eventually. Like
well, you heard it here first, yeah.
Exactly, but that's
you have
always
to keep
where
tabs
it goes
on it.
to. Like, because eventually,
But that's again, that sounds fearful because it's like, whenever a new thought comes out or whenever a new train of thought comes out, everyone's like, "Oh no, this is gonna be bad." Don't let women go to work because a woman's place is in the household. This is gonna be the end of the family.
and it has been. You know what I'm saying? Everything's falling apart right now.
Right.
We all fighting over whose role is what role.
JD's house is falling apart apparently.
Old school. But no, I agree with what you're saying. But there is a level of, like, again, if we ever get to it, because there's so much to talk about. But the self-reflection part is I have to assume, like, or I have to acknowledge that I may be wrong. So
Right.
I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just I acknowledge that it could even be a fear.
Mhm.
But I do feel that there is, once things start, it's hard to stop. Like if you start saying everybody can just choose who they want to be with, then how can you tell, a child molester he can't be with a 15-year-old? Like that's what he likes. Why is that wrong? Or you tell him it's wrong? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
That's
where are the lines?
It's a child.
Right.
Ew.
Yeah, in some countries, there is no mandate on how young you could be.
Speaking of,
Right?
did you
So
see?
it's
Did
just
you
like,
see
you never
that post of that? I think she was like it was a very beautiful woman. She was on a campus,
Mhm.
and she was like in her 30s or something, and it was like hide your sons or something like that.
Hide your kids, hide your
Hide
wife.
yeah, but it was like, everyone was going in about that post because it was like, well, if this was a man in his 30s on a college campus
Right.
talking about, hide your daughters, everyone would be up in arms about it, but because it's a woman and she's beautiful, it's not a double standard.
It is, and it is that double standard. I literally had this the other day. I was like, I told my son he was doing something, or he looked over it in the direction of a girl, and I was like, stop it, you don't need to date. And then I thought in my head, actually, you can. You know what I mean? You're my boy. You can do that. And I was like, but my daughter can't. And I said that in
Double
my head,
standard.
and
Like
then I had to think about it. And I just to make it brief, like I do feel like sometimes when women do that, they play into the hands of a man. It's just I feel like it's still a losing game. And I don't think there's anything wrong with women being out there and having fun, having some experiences.
when they thug thizzle.
But just going out and just completely thotting, like I do feel like it's just different on a woman's level, right? I just feel like it's
I'm joking.
for me as a dad, I just think of somebody stabbing my daughter. And
What do y'all think? I want
Exactly.
to know what you guys think in the comments about all this debacle that we're talking about.
Right.
Do you feel like times are better now that kids have the opportunity to explore their identity?
Right.
I'm not even against sexuality.
Yeah, because
Identity.
that's what it's about.
No, it's
I don't want to
identity.
give the credit to sexuality. I think, yes, kids now have the ability to explore everything, race, everything. Everything is a lot more open. But I don't think it's because of this they community and all this other stuff. I don't think the fact that they can do that is why. I think we're just more open and everyone's taking advantage in a sense.
Yes,
so anyway, self-reflection. Let's get to
Okay.
Let's try to get a
Oh my god,
few
you caught
things
me
in.
yawning on the video.
I tried to change it right now because I don't think you knew you were on. But our topic today is self-reflection and why it's good to do and just
When
things to
will
go about
my
doing it. Maybe a few tips on how to do it.
reflection
Why are you singing?
show who I
That's actually not a bad note.
am inside.
So first I want to give the definition of what self-reflection is. It's meditation or serious thought about one's character, actions, or motivations or motives. And I just think it's first of all important to just self-reflect because first of all, there's so many different perspectives. There's so many different ways to live. There's so many different ways of life that you can't go around thinking that you know everything or that you've experienced everything or that you are perfect. And I think you have to look at yourself.
Krista said, "Don't lie, she trash. I am trash. I ain't gonna lie. My voice was trash right now. What up, Jimmy Helix?
Yeah, it was kind of
Ladies and
trash. But no, I'm not gonna allow you to force me to hate. It was a good little note from this side, but I wouldn't do it louder.
Right.
So yeah, so in that sense, like
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm always self-reflecting. Like I almost feel like I do it way too much. But
Right.
do you feel like you self-reflect a lot, or is it stages? How do you feel like you approach when you self-reflect?
I do. I think something has to trigger that, whether it's something that a conflict that arises with either me and someone else or me and a situation. And either maybe a good thing that happened, like, yesterday with the premiere and everything, it was I had a moment of self-reflection of like, wow, let me enjoy this moment. We've put so much work in. It's been a year. Like, you don't really get that opportunity many times. You're just kind of always going. So it felt nice to do that. And then, if I have a conflict with someone, it's like, okay, well, how did I show up to this? Or how am I showing up to the relationship or the friendship? Or how, what can I do better? How far have I come? What has gotten better? What can get better? So yeah.
Man. And as you just demonstrated, I mean, this could be positive as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when I first introduced it, it's more negative, but it could be positive. Sometimes you need to take a moment and enjoy your moment, like enjoy what you're going through in life, like going to premieres, and meeting, famous people and being awesome. You may have to take a moment to really take that in and not work through it or not look too far ahead to where you're not enjoying it.
Right.
So yeah, and I have a few tips. First, I have another exercise we're gonna go through later, the things that we should do. But the first two tips
you
of
is prepared
where to start when self-reflecting, and it's first, be honest with yourself.
Okay.
That's one of my favorite things, and I always hold myself to is I won't lie to myself, even if I'm lying.
Do you feel like you can lie to yourself?
Of course, when you're lying, and I think
right, but you're lying.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Like, can you when you look in the mirror, you're like, yeah, they totally deserve me to punch them in the face. You know what I mean? Like, no, you can't. You're like, man, I was wilding.
Yeah, right.
Right.
But sometimes actions can be like, you can react out of your actions and then stand behind it. But
true.
But there's time. But when you're wrong, you're wrong.
Right. Crystal says, shout out to Crystal. She says, self-reflection is like studying playbacks in sports.
Right.
That's a very good analogy or metaphor.
It is.
She said also it reminds you of your probably humanity, that you're human. That's true.
All right, though. Thanks for that comment. But I was saying, but being honest, like with yourself, it really just comes from like you know, like when you tell a lie, it's not the truth. You know it in your heart. Yeah. And that's usually like kind of my basis for even like faith, is if I feel it in my heart that I'm supposed to do something, I feel like it's the right decision. In your heart says you shouldn't do that, and you go against it. I feel like that's where you like a sin is, right?
Right.
And I just, because there's just so many different ways of thinking, so many ways to be a Christian and all this stuff. And I think just follow your heart. So the point is to be honest with yourself.
Like, your instinct.
Yeah, and like if I know I should have done something different, I could lie to you about it, but at home I'm gonna be like, you shouldn't have did that shit.
Right,
like,
right.
And just keep
I'd be like that with food, yeah. I'd be like, yo, I'm gonna eat this because I deserve to eat this right now.
This is my day
I've been
off.
working hard, and then I eat it. I'm like, man, you ain't have to eat that.
Stop using that. All right. The next one is keep track of patterns in your thoughts and actions with self-reflection. So obviously just knowing what you are prone to doing, things that you are,
What's something that you do? Like that's like a hard thing, a negative thing that you do that if Anna was, Anna's watching, she'd probably be like, yes, that. He does that.
Helping too much.
Don't phrase it like it's a good thing.
Well,
like, when they ask you on a job interview, like, what's your biggest flaw? You're like, I'm a perfectionist. No, damn well you not know.
I try too hard sometimes.
Right.
I overwork myself.
Right.
That's the ones I would go to.
Yo, I hate it.
But it really is like, like I I do know that I can't save everybody. I can't save the world. But if I see you having an issue, I'm gonna want to comment. I'm gonna want to help. I'm gonna want to try to help you through it.
So you're
As
nosy.
you- huh?
So you're nosy.
No, that's not nosy at all. Especially like if I was in your business on Facebook, that's different. But if you're in my house and you're around me, and I usually make suggestions based on what I see. I don't just jump in and think, oh, I'm gonna help you. Like I see you have an issue.
Mm-hmm.
I hear you say you have an issue, and then a couple times down the road, I'll try to help you with that issue.
Right.
So where I think it becomes a problem is, if she doesn't want to take the advice, or if she heard me and she doesn't want to do it, I still may say something later on.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's something that I have to reflect on, because it's usually like, well, why don't you listen? I'm trying to help you.
Right.
But it's like, all right, I have to reflect and say, I can't make her make decisions. I can't guide her life.
Right.
So,
but do you change? You can't change that's who you are, right?
It is.
So the self-reflection, do you think self-reflection helps you change who you are, or is it just more like, oh yeah, I'm doing this again?
Yeah, I think it definitely helps you change. I think that's kind of the goal, is to reflect, and if you see something that's not right, it's to change.
Right.
But where I've come to, since we're on this can of worms, it is like there are certain things that I need to progress. Right? If it's affecting my life, I have to keep saying it. And if it's something that you can do on your own and just be fine, totally away from me, I'll leave it alone. So I can definitely stop doing it unless it's something that's affecting my life. If it's affecting my energy, if it's affecting something, then I have to choose to sorry, that's just me. I got to do that.
Right.
And I think that's from self-reflection. I've gotten better because I now know that stipulation. If it's affecting my life, I'll keep saying something. If it's not, hey, live your life.
Right.
Right. So next one.
Okay.
Is to determine your core values and beliefs. That's a beautiful one, because you really gotta know who you are, right? And just kind of understand who you are as a person, your beliefs, your belief system, your values, and that's your guideline.
You know something that really, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. You know something that helped me kind of get that aspect of myself down, because you hear a lot this idea of, if you don't stand for anything, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. Yeah. And there was a point in my life where I felt like, well, what do I stand for? What do I want? Like, who am I? And I started thinking of myself as like a brand, and having a mission statement became really important to me. Like developing a mission statement for who Kai Martinez is. This is who I am. This is what I stand for. This is what you're going to get when you see me, when you interact with me. And then just be that as much as I can, And so, and also with work or with things in my life, anything in my life has to be in alignment with that mission statement. So if like a project comes up and it's like, they're asking me to be, I don't know, let's say a video girl for a rap video, and I'm like I'm dancing on a pole. That's not in alignment with who I am or my mission statement as a brand. So I can pass that and not feel bad about.
We can't get no twerking videos.
No.
Damn.
I'm trying to think if I've ever done
Actually,
one.
that's probably best. I don't need to see Kai twerking.
Somebody tries to see me twerking.
The next one, and we're gonna try to start wrapping this up because we're already at 7:30.
Yes,
is forgive yourself when you make a mistake.
Yes,
and
have grace.
That's a huge one, because I also have on my list here is the difference between self-destruction and self-evaluation, and blaming yourself and taking accountability.
Right.
And a part of that is forgiving yourself. Like, we all make mistakes, and you learn from it, you grow. And I think the part where you have to forgive yourself is when you acknowledge it's a problem and then you commit to changing it. And that's when you forgive yourself. But if you want to be pig-headed and just say, well, this is who I am, this is how I'm gonna do it. Right. Like, that's something you would have to reflect on.
Right.
And say, all right, well, if you choose to do that, then no, you may rub some people the wrong way. Your relationships may be a little funny, or you have to be with specific type of people. Right. And but at the end of the day, you have to make it okay. Hence, forgiving yourself.
Yes, having grace with yourself. The same grace you have with other people, have it with yourself. You know what I mean? You're a living, breathing human being, and you make mistakes, and it's okay. Right. But that's when the reflection comes in of like, yo, I messed up. I messed up because of A, B, and C. I did D, E, F. Right. How can I not do this in the future? How can I change this? It's when we keep repeating the same cycle and we know we're doing it, that it's like, okay, either something drastic needs to change, or you're just continuously gonna be in this cycle, in this
Right.
destructive cycle. So
Yeah.
something has to change. I'll say Crystal says in the comments, she's saying she got a question. How do you guys exercise self-control when you self-reflect?
Using these steps that we just went through. No, but it's like it's when you say self-control, meaning not to get emotional, put that in the comments. But from what I'm understanding, is just kind of controlling your emotions and not going too deep into like, oh, I'm a horrible person, or going too high, like I'm perfect, I'm right, I knew I was right.
Right.
I think it's really just kind of being, just connecting to my humanity is what I do.
Right.
And I have to imagine that sometimes I could be wrong, sometimes I could be right.
Right.
But I have to go with what feels good in my heart, and that's just kind of where I stay, because I kind of taken the time to understand what my values are. I have values that are deeply rooted in my faith, but I'm not like a Christian. I don't have a label of like a crusader. Like, I have a relationship with God. I talk to him like he's a regular person. I've done it all my life, but I can't say I commit or subscribe to any certain religion, because they're all roughly the same, and I know enough to know I don't know shit.
So she said not to overanalyze yourself.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, self-control to not overanalyze yourself when you're self-reflecting.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of what we were saying earlier, as far as having a mission statement for yourself, and you can check yourself like, yo, did you move with love in this moment? Or did you move with jealousy or greed?
Exactly.
Or, and you can tell, and being honest with yourself and transparent with yourself first, and be like, yo, I just had this happen recently. I was like, I reacted this way, and I reacted this way out of love. So the person perceived it maybe differently than that, and now they're upset. Okay, well, I can't be hard on myself because I didn't move with greed or anger, or jealousy. Then there's been times where I've maybe said something or done something out of jealousy, and I'm like, all right, I need to check myself for that, because I moved from a place of jealousy and anger, and that was not right. So I need to make it right, or need to check myself for that. So I think knowing your values and knowing where you're operating from, that has helped me to be able to guide myself and not be so critical, and not be so like, because when people are upset, that sucks.
Right.
And especially if you didn't mean it, if that was not your intention, you're like, yo, I didn't mean it. Why are you upset? But it's that reflection of, okay, maybe this is an opportunity for us to communicate better. Maybe this is not a space for us to be angry at each other. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah. Also, too, what I was gonna say earlier about what we were talking about is that even being able to have conversations with people. Like, I had a conversation with someone recently where we think differently. We approach the same situation from a different place. I'm more emotional. They're a little bit more logical. And so we're trying to communicate, and I expressed, well, I operate from this place, and I would have done it like this, and that. And then I had to like check that moment and make it clear that doesn't make me better than them.
Yeah.
It just makes it different.
All hands on that. And it's something you rarely hear, but I have nothing to add. You said that perfectly.
Yeah.
Which is one of those things that I have even had to self-reflect on, is because I get it. I enjoy having conversations and going deep into conversations, and it always gets that tag of like, you just think you're right, or you're just trying to respond to respond, and you're not listening. But I really like to go deep and find the answers. Like, for example, I would say, hey, Kai, why are you single? And she'll say, I haven't found the right guy. Most people will stop there.
Right. You like, don't.
So why?
Yo, you dig deep.
Right. I think you get to the answers. I think you can live a lot of your life on BS if you don't dig deep and ask yourself why, which is, just to piggyback on your point, is kind of knowing your why, knowing your values again, and sticking to that. And I think intentions are the biggest thing for me. If your intention is to do good and it's misinterpreted for something else, that sucks. But you have to know, like, really be honest with yourself. I really was trying to help.
Right.
And I think that's how you can manage, being too hard on yourself, is really just knowing what your intentions were. And if you don't know,
If you
go
know.
through the questions, right?
Right.
Like,
And if you know, you
was I
know.
jealous?
The show.
Right? Was I happy? Was I did I, like what did you want?
Yeah.
What did you want from that situation?
And
And just really go through it.
Self-reflecting on your feelings. Like so many of us don't think about our feelings. Like how did and I do this a lot now. I used to not be this way. Shout out to my brother Chris in the building, in the virtual building.
Yeah, and your parents for making you guys
said, "What
talk
up,
things out, which made you communicators.
Which made they used to make us talk all the stuff out. But I think as I've gotten older, I've learned to I ask myself, like, how do I feel? Why do I feel this way? Because sometimes especially in relationships, we want something from the other person and we maybe don't want to say it because we're afraid of being rejected, but then we act out in other ways. And then we end up having an argument over something that was never supposed to be an argument in the first place. When in
What's your sign
reality,
again, that's what you and your sign do. You and Anna like to do that
Pisces.
madness. That's not us normal
Yeah.
people. Go ahead, continue.
Pisces energy. Yeah. So then what'll sometimes happen is like an argument will come out of something that could have just been like, you know what, actually I miss you and I want to see you.
Are
that's
you
it.
right?
At least you have baggage.
Instead of saying you right, you just say you double down on the shit that you know is wrong. It's the worst. All right, the last one we're gonna touch on before we get out of here is I just want to get your opinion and everybody else's opinion on the differences between kind of self-destruction, almost on the same thing that we're doing, self-destruction and self reflection, and then taking accountability or blaming yourself. And I think the first one I'll start with is the accountability we always talk about. That's why you hit yourself. She hit herself in the face with the mic. But
that was for you, Crystal.
Is being accountable for your shit, just for lack of a better word, right? And that doesn't mean you have to beat yourself up. That means you just have to kind of be honest with yourself, right? Like I don't make myself feel like I have a flaw because I always want to help. But I take accountability because that could be annoying.
Yes, it can. Very.
It's like,
shout out to Anna.
Let me throw some horns for poor Anna. She'll be at home like, I'm just trying to pour some water, but if you pour it this way,
oh no,
I'm not that bad. But it's really only I'm that bad when it comes to like our child, like because it's consistency.
Right.
So, and she doesn't like to listen, so she wants to do it her way, whatever makes it easier for her.
We need
I'm trying to be consistent.
Anna on a check-in. We need to have Anna as a guest on the show so we can dispel all these myths. Because he be talking mad ish over here.
I thought about it because I thought about putting this on the couch, like, and having you be our mediator.
Yes.
Maybe think about it, baby. Anyway, but yeah,
I could definitely be a mediator.
Right,
that'd be great. And then I can have you be a mediator for me.
Back to me.
Myself
No, I'm definitely down to do that, and we can mediate for you guys too. So if you have
issues, oh my god, if you have relationship issues, hit us up. We are actually really good. High five to us. We're really good.
Anyway, accountability. Do you feel like you're accountable? Do you feel like you're self-destructive, or do you feel like you just kind of self-evaluate?
You know what? It helps having a good network of friends that you can reach out to, because sometimes when you're in the thick of it, you can't see clear. And you can be a little self-destructive. You can be a little self-critical, which can be harmful to you. You could be a little delusional sometimes too. So I think for me, having a close group of friends that I can reach out and be like, yo, this is a situation. Am I bugging? Or even just talk it out and be like, yo, this is what's happening. All the things, and then be like, at the end of it, even you have this epiphany, like, yo, I'm actually bugging, or I'm not bugging. Actually.
But isn't that the number one reason why women have bad relationships? Because they talking to their damn friends too much.
Oh my god!
We
need that. That needs to be a topic on the show. What do y'all think? Do y'all think we should be talking to our friend? I read an article. First of all, Crystal said she's trying to get on the show. We need to have Crystal on the show. Right. Number one. Number two. I did see this on an article that if you allow your close friends and family that know you to kind of filter who you're dating, they'll be able to like let you know like when it's a what are you about to do?
I'm looking for my buzzer. Go ahead and finish. No, go ahead and finish.
Well, why don't you like it?
No, hold on. Wait, what were you gonna say?
They'll help.
It don't matter.
It doesn't matter what you're gonna say.
Listen, it's not a debate. Whatever you have, you need to deal with it with your partner or whoever is in question. However, it's good to check with your friends for opinions but you still have to come back to yourself, make the decision for you and between you and the partner.
That's
because
because you don't want it to date you.
Well, only because like if your friends say you should do this, and I just told you what I need you to do, but your friend said it, like who you believe in? Like you need to figure it out with your partner. You and your partner can have whatever it is that you guys decide on together, right? Your friends can help. You can maybe check see if you're bugging.
Right.
Just see like, no, you ain't tripping, girl. And even if they say that you are right, that doesn't mean that you double down on your partner. Like,
well, me and my homegirl said
right.
that you wrong, so you wrong. Okay?
Right. And so but it's good to hear an opinion. It's almost like checking yourself.
Yes.
To make sure if I'm bugging. Like if they don't say, girl, you bugging.
Yo, we need to have a segment on the show that's like, yo, am I bugging?
Yeah.
That's gonna be a segment. We're gonna do a segment like that. Crystal said a lot of people don't have great she says, hold on. She said, I think counsel is good, but they have to have great judgment, which is true.
Yeah. How do you judge their judgment though?
Well, I mean, if she not married and
that
have
don't mean
kids,
nothing. There's a lot of people who shouldn't even be married that's married. They just got lucky.
I mean, if they're not I always say if they're not living the life you want to live or that you hope to live, then yeah.
I would keep it even simpler. More
Simpler.
I would keep it more simple.
Mm-hmm.
It's just if you respect their thought process, because you know just based on who you are,
that's true.
Who you vibe with, who you trust, and you can see their actions, especially if you've seen them long enough.
That's very true.
You'd be like, look, you full of shit because you like
right because you ain't never tried to do that. Yeah,
jiggling some balls. And now you're talking about some less weight.
Right.
Like, no,
right. Girl, you just don't want me to get none.
I know you wishy-washy.
Chris also says a lot of people don't have great judgment, giving bad advice and messing up the world. Yes. Right. So true. And true. Being hypocritical too. It's like, girl, just wait, don't sleep with him, don't give him, and then you over here. Right. Getting it in.
Yeah, like I said, it's all about kind of knowing who you are. Nobody can help you through that. So you got to figure out yourself, and that's the problem I think with most people even giving advice. Is they don't even have themselves together. Like I feel like I started to understand people so much more when I figured out me. Because we're all about the same. We just kind of go about it a little different.
You know what I'll say? That my friends and I do, which is cool. I think we ask each other questions. Like we talk about a situation, then we'll ask each other because well, what about this and what about that? And I think for me, that's been a way healthier way of coming to a conclusion with my friends, or if I bring something to them, anything, it could be about work, it could be whatever, then someone telling me like, yo, what you need to do is, or what I would do is, I think asking, so I share this out with you guys, like, if someone comes to you for advice, a friend, a family member, a coworker, I would invite you to, if you haven't done this or you're not doing this, I would invite you to ask them questions that can help them kind of like prompt their own answer. Where it's like, man, should I go out with this guy? And then it's like, well, do you want to go out with him? Are you attracted to him?
That is the best way to do it.
Yeah, I am, but are you busy tonight? No, and then they'll come to their own conclusion. Like, wow, you know what? I should give him a try.
Right. That's good advice. Ladies, especially. Because ladies be out there giving advice based on how they feel in that moment.
Like, girl, he ain't
she just broke up with her boyfriend, so she's like, fuck them all, let's go out, girl.
Right.
Like, no, hold on, wait, I actually had a good man. Like,
right.
Like, so I just think it's dangerous.
To that.
Yeah, I think when men do that too, like, if you got single friends, come on, dog, come on back out here in these streets with me. So just be careful. Again, it's all based on how you feel. That's the decision that you should make. But I think it's good to have a counsel. Yes. Just to make sure if your self-reflection skills are lame.
Right. Like, I mean, you caught up. When you in the eye of the storm, it's hard to see the magnitude of the storm.
Right. So anyway, so we got to get out of here.
Crystal said you're a mess, by the way.
I know. But anyway, we'll see y'all next week. Thank you guys for joining us. Make sure you follow us on all our social media joints. And we'll see you next week.
Peace.
Over.